Hello children, now welcome back to the last module of chapter number 3, Fibers to Fabrics. But before starting our module, let us have a quick glance over the last studied topics in both the modules. So in module first we studied about fibers, types of fibers, whereas in the second module we completed our first animal fiber, that is the wool. So children, now let us start with the third module where we will study about silk and how is it produced. Now, initially let us understand what is silk and then we would understand its production. Silk is a natural protein fiber obtained from the cocoons of silkworm. It is a natural filament fiber origin at 2600 BC in China. Now, silk diameter ranges from 12 to 30 micrometer and its characteristics are in composition, silk is made up of 80% of fibrine and 20% of sericin. It has a good tensile strength. It is 1/7 of its original length and retain its shape easily. It is a non-conductor of heat. Now let us start with the ancient history of the silk. That means let us know about the history of the silk which was invented in the ancient China. Now in the Chinese tale of the discovery of silkworm, silk was by an ancient empress Liu Zhu. This Chinese lady named Liu Zhu invented the mystery of the silkworm cocoons accidentally. It is said that the silk is discovered before 3000 BC and the art of silk production was a secret up to 200 BC for about 28,000 years. Trading of silk was through the Silk Road at that time. By about 300 AD, sericulture had spread to India from Korea. In 1857, world sericulture industry suffered from Peregrine disease, which almost destroyed the European sericulture industry. But Louis Pasteur discovered MME technique and cured the disease. Now basically there are various type of silkworms and the silk produced by these different kind of silkworms are used for the various commercial importance. Now here are some common names, scientific name and how they are used in the production of the commercial goods. You can see here in the above given pictures. Now in the leaderboard of the silk production in the world, China continues to be the first leading producer of the silk, whereas India stands second along with its neighborhood countries. Now let us move towards the end of this module, that is sericulture. But before we understand what is sericulture, let us first understand what is the life cycle of these silkworms. Basically, the life cycle of the silkworm consists of 4 stages. The first stage is the egg stage, second is the larval, third is the pupa, fourth is the adult moth. Now, in the first stage of the life cycle of the silk moth produces around 300 to 500 numbers of eggs together, and after the laying of eggs, the silk moth dies as it does not get anything to eat, and the eggs hatches, and then the life cycle of the silkworm enters to the second stage, that is the larval stage. The larval stage or the caterpillar of the silkworm that emerges out from the egg is having the hairs all over the body and is about only 8 inch of length and is feeds on the mulberry leaves going through 4 separate molds. As it matures towards the third stage of the life cycle, that is the pupa stage, and as it molds, it gives out all the skin, the hairy skin that is present on the body of it, and remains as it is, that is without hairs, towards the rest of the time that it remains in this stage, that is the larval stage of the life cycle. And after properly feeding on the continuous basis on the mulberry leaves and molting of the skin, the caterpillar or the larval stage enters the third stage of the life cycle, that is the pupa. The caterpillar or the silkworm starts spinning a very white color of mold known as cocoon around itself, moving its head around 360 degrees towards each side and remains there for about 20 to 25 days until it's completely undergone the metamorphism. Now, after the complete hibernation of the caterpillar or the silkworm for 20 to 25 days, the silk moth emerges out of the cocoon. And here the complete transformation or the metamorphosis of the silk moth could be seen, where the silk moth bears two pairs of wings, two proboscises, and the body divided into head and trunk. But whereas in the caterpillar it was a single body with 8 pairs of legs and the body completely covered with the hairs. Now this drastic change of the caterpillars from to the moth is known as metamorphism. Now let us move to the last part of the silk production, that is sericulture. Sericulture means silk farming or the rearing of silkworm for the production of silk. Now, in this sericulture, both the science of raising of silk and the production of the silk from the silkworm is done. Among the species of the silkworms, Bombyx mori is the most widely used. This silk is known as the queen of the textile or the biosteel because of its tensile strength. In the production of silk, it involves two processes, that is rearing and reeling. Rearing of silkworm means allowing them to undergo their life cycle, because the third stage of their life cycle, that is the pupa stage, where they spin cocoon around themselves, the chrysalis, the cocoon is obtained to get the silk out of it. So in this silkworm are killed and then the silk is obtained from the cocoon. So basically in the rearing of the silkworm, the healthiest moths are chosen for breeding and laying the eggs. Then the larva that emerges once the eggs hatch are fed on the mulberry leaves that continue feeding for 20 to 35 days. And when the silkworm is about 35 days old, it starts spinning a cocoon around itself. This process takes about 3 to 7 days to complete. And then the pupae inside the cocoons are killed by putting the cocoons into the hot water, which kills the worm and loosens the filaments from the cocoons. After which the second process in the production of silk starts, that is the reeling or the filature. In this step, that means in the filature step, one end of the silk thread is passed to an eyelet and the thread is reeled on the wheel. And then the single filaments are washed, dried and twisted to form yarn. The texture of the fabric depends on the manner of the twisting of the silk thread. The production of silk also includes a lot of health hazards associated with it, like handling of dead worms with bare hands can contribute to the infection and illness. Standing almost continuously for about 12 to 16 hours a day for reeling of fine silk threads may lead to health disorders like backache, spine and vision related problems, and so on. So children, we have come to the end of the chapter and we have completed all the chapters and the important points related to it. I hope you people are learning well, studying properly at home, and then you people are focusing on each and every chapter and the important points given in them. Note them properly, study well, and until we meet, stay home, stay safe and keep healthy. Thank you. Bye bye.